Well, here I am alone at the house, and my husband is at his annual rugby reunion, where the guys from the rugby team at Columbia University from the 1985 to 1989 time period get together. And there's one member of this team that in recent years hasn't been able to make it because he has a particular condition called um, MS. MS is a pretty common disease. We don't know what causes it. And it's a quite debilitating disease. To give you a little background, our friend's name is Gil. And Gil was the best man at our wedding and really one of the most brilliant minds that I've ever met. And he went from Columbia University to Harvard Law School, became a partner at Williams and Connolly in Washington, D.C., and was a partner there, was really a prominent, extremely savvy and successful lawyer and very articulate, a good author. And he developed MS. And over time, he's had to retire his law practice. He's very active in the National MS Society and does fundraisers. As you can see on this screen, he has a podcast called The Fortunate Man with MS, which is an interesting podcast to listen to, and just recently finished a book that he is self-publishing. I bring this up because we don't know much about what causes MS. The question is it linked to the gut? There have been some studies out that will list a series of diseases that are more commonly found as predecessors to MS, including Epstein-Barr virus and certain bacteria like Mycoplasma pneumonia. Interestingly, I find this fascinating, that people with a history of parasitic disease are less likely to get MS. Now, I don't know if it's because of the body's immune reaction to parasitic infection is protective, or if the medications, such as ivermectin, are protective. Who knows? So that's fascinating for all of those who are scared about parasites. I don't know. They may actually help you resist autoimmune diseases. Recently, there's been a study out of Germany. It's a twin study that shows there are two basic bacteria that they've found that can be associated more commonly with MS. And one of them is called Eisenbergella, and the other one is lacno Clostridium. Do you love the names? Anyway, these bacteria are more common in people who develop MS. So if you have twins where one developed MS and the other one didn't, you can check the microbiome and you're more likely to find these two bacteria. Now, one would assume identical twins are exposed to much of the same organisms are surrounding. So what led to those two organisms to get into the GI tract? And this is something that we don't know. I do know this, that there is a distinct connection between the gut and the brain. And then we as a society need to start recognizing that people's personalities can be altered because of the gut microbiome. Their neurology can be altered by the gut microbiome. Their immunology and their autoimmunology can be altered by the microbiome. So your friendly neighborhood colorectal surgeon is just here to say, listen, take care of your microbiome. Make sure you're eating a non-inflammatory, clean diet. If you have been recently diagnosed with MS, consider some anti-inflammatories like turmeric or boswellia. Avoid inflammatory foods like seed oils. Try to avoid the herbicides and pesticides. This is why you want the organic, non-GMO variety. It just so happens that the founder of a company where I sit on the medical board called Superpatch developed his physical therapy technology specifically for his mother who has MS. And so if you're struggling with your balance, if you are a new MS type patient, consider Superpatch Liberty Patch in particular, because it does tend to help improve the smoothness of your physical activity. It does improve your balance. It has a tendency to bring the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems into balance. And by doing so, this can improve some of your symptoms. It's certainly not a cure for this disease, but it is a physical therapy that if you're struggling with balance issues, or in particular you have MS, you should consider. Anyway, here's a shout out to you, Gil. We love you, dude. And I am not in Canada drinking with the boys, but Stephen and the guys are, and I'm certain that they've already called you.